Yo, how's everyone doing? How's everyone going? Yes, Adam, what are you saying, mate?
Sal, mate, I'm absolutely loving life at the moment. How are you?
Yeah, man, I'm good. I'm really good. I got one question. Whilst we wait for some people to join the stream, why is your hair still looking normal, mate?
Can't comment on that.
Oh, he's been sneaking a haircut exposed here first.
One thing I will say is, woke up this morning, got changed, put a random top on, realised it was the Europa League draw.
Yeah, I'm surprised you've kept it on, actually.
I know, so, I made this fixture happen, so I'm sorry, guys. It is a very hard fixture, considering who we could have got. But saying that, I would rather have got Milan over Tottenham and Arsenal. And probably Ajax as well.
You want an English club in the final so you can humiliate them?
Yeah, but I'd rather just avoid them completely.
Fair enough. Yeah, no, I asked because I haven't had a chance to look at myself much recently, and I'm looking at myself right now, and I've got an absolute afro, and it's so annoying.
We're all in the same boat, apart from me, because I've been a bit illegal.
Just been a bit illegal. Yeah, we've got John and Michael are in the chat. How's the northern air, John? The northern air is cold and wet. Marcus said he'll be quiet, good lad. And Marcus said, "Sound lads, what's going on, Marcus, mate?" Yeah, we're doing a preview, a United Chelsea preview. It's the big game Sunday. It's literally like the only game coming up, like the only big game. Like, have you looked at the fixture list? It's dead.
Yeah, for this weekend, it's not great, is it really? Yeah, this will be a good one. Nice Sunday off. That'll be nice.
Yeah, I you know what? I forgot it was this game. Like, I think everything was pinned on that Atletico Madrid game. Like it was all focused. It was tunnel vision on that game. I almost forgot that the terrible run we've got now was starting with you guys. So that's fun. But no, let's talk. I'll talk quickly about the Madrid game because that was set up nicely for the preview, and I've not had a proper chance to talk about it because it was just wonderful. I mean, I did have a chance to talk about it. Had a fan cam, but no, it was wonderful, right? And to be fair, you have United and Chelsea both beat La Liga sides that was once top of the league, and you rolled over Sociedad, but Madrid just didn't come to play, man. They just put 10 men behind the ball, put Felix and Suarez, only one of them ahead of that, and just let us play. And to be fair, it's not the worst thing you can do against Chelsea right now. We are finding it really hard to score goals, but Giroud finds a way, man. And it was just it was like I haven't celebrated a goal like that in a very long time. Elliot's put a good question in that we'll get to later. We had this conversation at the start of the season. I don't know if you can see it, Adam, but we'll get to that in a bit, Elliot, because that's a good question. But no, what was I saying? Yeah, it was just I haven't celebrated a Chelsea goal in a long time. Also, being at home, watching every game on your own, really. Like I was watching them with my dad, but he doesn't care about football. And then now I'm in my flat. Hope doesn't give a fuck about football. So it's like you don't really get too hyped. But with that goal, mate, I went mad.
It was interesting to see the way Atletico got out because, I mean, Chelsea, I would say at the moment, are still vulnerable, with the takeover of Tuchel. If obviously I'm not a manager, so I can't say shit, but I would have been a bit more aggressive with the way I was playing against Chelsea, and it just didn't happen. And you took full advantage of that.
Every team we've played so far, bar Southampton, have done the same thing, and it's baffling me. And we'll get onto this in a bit, but I feel like you'll probably do the same. But we'll talk about that in a bit. But yeah, no, that was a big test for Tuchel, really big test. Southampton and Madrid was a really big test for him. Kind of failed Southampton, passed with flying colours against Madrid. Josh kind of tries to put me down and say, yeah, it's only half time, and absolutely it's only half time, but with an away goal, I'm very happy. It's a huge win. Very good for
it's perfect for your first game, right?
Oh, it's just it's brilliant. It's have the momentum, have the confidence, and it's good for confidence for this tough run that I mentioned. We have a tough run coming, and it's really good for that. Like I think second the draw was announced, every Chelsea fan had this date in our calendar and was just like, I don't want it to happen, don't want it to happen. It happened and it was brilliant. So that's where I'm at going into this game. Where are you at, mate?
I'll be honest.
Back in the Europa.
I didn't watch the game last night because I just wasn't really interested. I saw the team. I saw Bruno was playing first of all. I was a bit like, why?
Yeah.
Let him see his family, man. But
yeah.
I know it is. He's definitely. I said to him, listen, you're playing me, right? I am not sitting out of this game. He just loves to play. But yeah, I'm glad I didn't watch it because it was drab. The most entertaining part about the game was Lindelof flying into the
Fucking hell, yeah, I saw your tweet, mate. The knee head, fair play. You got to get some height to get your knee to someone's head.
I don't understand how he stayed on the pitch.
Mate, listen, this isn't what this conversation is about, but Maguire against Chelsea headlocked and brought Azpilicueta down. I think Maguire has done something similar recently and not got a yellow for either. So I don't know. I ain't throwing out no conspiracies, but that's a conspiracy.
Yeah, but in terms of our form, I don't think it's terrible. If you take the Sheffield United game out and maybe the West Brom game out, we're in good form. We drew against Liverpool, we drew against Arsenal, who were coming good at the time. And, we got wins under the belt. But going into this game, I don't know. I can just see another 0-0 draw. I really can.
Oh, don't. Don't say that, right? Because I've got that in my notes. I don't actually have my notes open, well, funny enough, but I've got one note just saying I really hope it's not a 0-0, but I can see it being a 0-0. We'll move on to our game. Then we'll talk about the game coming up. The game this Sunday, Manchester United versus Chelsea. Oh, it's the other way around technically because we're at home. And yeah, the way this is, if we're going to go really brief overview right now, I see Ollie, when it comes to big teams, Ollie sits deep. He sits deep. He puts players behind the ball. He has McSauce and Fred. Yeah. I'm on board with McSauce. I think it's funny. He plays them too. Bruno doesn't get a sniff of the ball, and you sit behind it. And then Chelsea right now, we have a lot of the ball and we do fuck all with it. So you're right. Everything leads to a 0-0, which does really worry me.
I mean, in terms of a point from that game, it isn't the worst thing that could happen for either of us.
Our last game ended 0-0 though, which is sad.
Yeah, I mean, arguably could have gone either way. I think
the last one
before, but yeah, I think we could do with. I think we need to win more than you. I don't know because Leicester are the same points as us at the moment, and then West Ham were creeping up. Look, interesting. We got them in a few weeks, so it's still very open. But yeah, I'm looking back at the past results, right? And I found this really interesting. You haven't beat us in the league since 2017.
Doesn't surprise. We've drew a lot, haven't we?
Yeah, we have.
We have. I think the last one was 0-0. I mean, I remember one of the last games I went. No, it wasn't one of the last times I went to. I remember it was 1-1 under Sarri at Old Trafford. I think there's another draw somewhere in there. It's ridiculous, isn't it?
Yeah. So I mean, you've got probably the better form out of the fixture. Apart from I'm ignoring the FA Cup. It's not like the league. But yeah, 0-0, 2-0 United, 2-1 United, 4-0 United, 1-1, 2-0 United, 2-2. Then the last time you beat us, 2017. But that can all go out the window. You never know what's going to happen. It all depends on, for me, who's fit for us. Because I'm not 100% if Cavani's fully fit yet, if McKola fully fit yet. So
that is big
in the system we're playing at the moment.
Yeah, no, definitely. I'll talk about actually just whilst we're on that. What I'll do is I'll bring up the table so we can have a look at it. So you're currently second, which I forget, because United are doing. City are doing so well. I've kind of forgot where everyone else is. I'm just focused on us. So you're second, level on points with Leicester. We're in fifth, kind of battling for that fourth spot with West Ham, which is a weird sentence to say. So you said you might need to win this more, but no, I think I disagree because you have 6 points on us. I know you're battling out with Leicester, but really now the title's decided. It's top four. Would you care if you finished second or third?
I mean, if it was Leicester to beat us or West Ham to beat us, yeah, but you want to finish as high as you can, obviously, but. Second doesn't look too bad, but they always say, no one remembers second place, so it doesn't really matter, does it?
No, I think for us, it's just important to get top four, just to, the top four thing's important, is it? It always is. Every year, you get judged on if you're in top four or not.
I'd even go further to say top three because the fourth spot gets it's 2 extra fixtures automatically with the playoffs, whatever you call them. And we don't really need it. We don't really want it. So I think we'll still finish second. Don't get me wrong, but it's still very close up there.
Fair, right? I'm going to talk about the Chelsea team. Some of the news. I'm just going to get it up there. So, injury news. The press conference earlier was terrible, man. They were talking about Giroud's hair and and his beard and stuff. The journalists are so strange in these press conferences, man. Shout out to Olivia Bazaga. She's the only one that asks real questions, about the game. Imagine you have one shot, you have about 1 or 2 questions, don't you, in a press conference? What's the tactics? What are you doing in the game? Who's missing? Why are they missing? Giroud's hair's nice, isn't it? the fuck, bro? Well, you've wasted your time, man. You've wasted your moment, and it's annoying for fans because I watch the press conferences knowing I've got to do these. You know what I mean? And so I want to try and keep clued up. I probably wouldn't watch them otherwise; they're quite boring. But so in the press conference today, Silva is injured still. He's looking to be back next week, but he said that last week. You don't know where he's at. So
I don't remember 50, so he recovers a bit slower than everyone else.
Yeah, exactly. You know, he needs his time. He needs his meds. No, but so that in mind, I think we'll go for the three at the back still, because we've played it the whole time. There's no point changing it now. And the fact, I think he originally put three at the back because he didn't trust the defenders, and then it started working. They're forming a partnership. Keep it that way. And because it's a bigger game, we've got to keep it. So I'm thinking Mendy in goal, of course, as B, Christensen, Rudiger. That seems to be working. All props to Christensen as well. Sorry, Michael's just commented. I bet Liverpool fans are real quiet seeing all the exits. You know what, Mike? They're not. They're never quiet. But no, Christensen played really well against Madrid, and something we did really well in that game was when there was a counter attack, because we knew that Madrid were going to sit deep and counter attack with João Felix, with Suarez. Second, we lost the ball, we were on them. If that wasn't the midfielders, it was the defence. And Christensen had a really good game. And Lewis from Blues fans has been banging on about Christensen for a while now. And I might be converted back to a Christensen fan now because he was quite solid. And I know he has it in him. He just has a lot of mistakes in him as well. And I guess you can say that the same with a lot of our defenders. But three at the back, keep it solid because, your attack, like we said this on the last time me and you and Josh did a podcast, your attacking players are fucking brilliant. It's your defence that lets you down. Yeah. So then going into the midfield, it's Hudson-Odoi, Alonso, wing-backs as normal. And then I think in the middle, we're going to go Kante and Kovacic. I say Kante because I think every team we've played so far, we knew we'd have more of the ball. With this game, although I do think you'll probably sit deep, I don't think you'll allow us to have as much of the ball as we've had. So I think, so I'm thinking put Kante in, who's coming into some good form, by the way. Like, he's playing really well. He's getting back to like the Kante we know. So I reckon get him in there with Kovacic. He can really close down that midfield, really cause you some problems in that midfield. And of course, we're going up against Bruno Fernandes, one of the best midfielders. Get Kante on him, try and stop that threat. So that's how I see that happening.
Going back to Kante, for me, I don't really think he ever went out of form. I just think he played in the wrong system and in the wrong position. Like, Kante's probably still one of the top 3 holding midfielders in the world, I'd say.
Oh yeah, easily.
Under Frank, it didn't really seem that way. He sort of tried to push him forward and all. So to play Kante in this game is vital because he could shut Bruno up.
Yeah, no, definitely. If there's any one of our players that could do that, it'd be him.
Absolutely.
And also, it wasn't working under Frank, and it wasn't working under Sarri as well, because both of those managers wanted a 4-3-3. But you go back to the year before that, and the year before that, where we won the league, that kit there, under Conte, he played the 5 at the back system with the 2 6s, the 2 DMs. So that, Kante really flourished under that thing. So that's what he will be playing under Tuchel if we keep to this 5 at the back. So that's probably why he's finding form again. But no, yeah, absolutely. I think he needs to play. I really hate Jorginho and Kovacic playing together. Love them both separately. Playing together, I just feel like we're wasting a player. Throw Kante on. He can sweep. He can cover, then can do his dribbling, get forward, bring it forward. And then I think he'll be bringing it forward to Werner and Mount in just sitting behind Giroud. So that's my front 3. Mount's just vital, important to the way we play. He's like a captain in the fact that he kind of puts the pace onto the team. Does that make sense? Like he when he's running around. Yeah, setting the tempo. That's exactly what I'm trying to say. I don't know why I couldn't think of that simple footballing term. He sets the tempo of the game, so he has to play. Werner coming into good form, got his goal recently. He plays in this. He's playing well. He's only scored the one goal in however long, but he's playing really well. Yeah, it was a great little tap in, and then Giroud. Listen, we're struggling for goals. You put the big man up top. You just have to put him there. If there's anyone that's going to get you a goal in this game, it's Giroud. So he needs to play.
He's player that worries me in your team. Seriously, like he did the last time he beat us in the FA Cup. He fucking run riot. He's aggressive. You know, he will target our centre halves and our centre halves.
Yeah, if you've got Giroud versus Maguire or Lindelof, I'm picking Giroud to win that fight. So yeah, that's how I see us lining up, though, mate. And I want to go back to Elliot's question, but I'll let you go for your team first, and then we'll go to Elliot's question.
Okay. I wanted to going back to the point I made before. I wanted to see the players rested, more players rested on Thursday. We didn't see it. I know he absolutely loves playing, but he does need a bit of time. Saying that, I'm going to put the game back in net. I think it's on the right for him to start in the league, although Henderson has been impressing me recently.
He's good. He's a good goalie, man.
Centre half, I'm going Maguire, who didn't play on Thursday. I'm going Bailey because I think what happened on Thursday with Lindelof speaks for itself. I think Bailey needs to. You know what? Bailey's a good centre half. He's very calm on the ball in tackling, but then every now and then he will do something incredibly stupid. So that's
mate, our defenders are exactly the same. Man.
I see a forward at the back because I think when we go far at the back, it's too negative. Nothing really happens to us.
And just to quickly interject there as well. The last time we played each other, both teams, Frank and Ollie, but went 5 at the back, and that's what ended in the 0-0. We respected each other too much, so.
So I think we want to, pull some points from this game. So I've gone Shaw at left back and Bissaka right back. Obviously, Shaw's been in great form the last few weeks. Tellez has sort of been a bit quiet. And I think it's really kicked Shaw at the ass for starting Tellez.
Yeah.
So, like you mentioned before, I've gone for Fred and McTominay holding. They work really well together. Fred is great at breaking down the play, pressuring other players, and McSauce just loves to play football. He picks it up, he brings it into the the final third brilliantly, and we'll play it to Bruno, hopefully playing just in front of him. And then the front three is an awkward one because it looks like Cavani's still doubtful. Pogba's still out. I know he won't be playing anyway. Van der Beek's picked up a knock. And Martial did have a knock, but he did play the other night. I've put, I could be wrong, put Cavani up front. Hopefully he's fit. Rashford on the left and James on the right. James has been fantastic. His work ethic is second to none. And like you said with Man, I'm not saying he sets the tempo for the team, but he closes down and it makes, the players around him sort of do the same. So it'd be interesting to see if he starts, because I do think he deserves it.
Fair enough.
That's it. And Martial can stay on the bench.
So that leads us perfectly onto our point, mate. And it's quite funny how, we both, Cavani's the best striker at your club, easily, I think. Just experienced, been there, done that, knows how to play football and knows where the net is. Exactly the same for Giroud, yeah? Exactly the same. Experience, knows where the net is, best striker at Chelsea. Elliot's question was, fun would you rather, Martial or Werner, who's worse? And we said this at the start of the season, and I remember being baffled by the fact that you picked Martial. And this was this was just when we signed Werner, and we were like going mad. I was like, no, Werner's just fucking brilliant. He's going to bag us loads of goals. Hasn't quite worked out that way. But also on the other end, Martial's gone downwards, and it's a horrible question, isn't it?
That's a brilliant question. I don't know what to say. I don't want to have Martial, but at the same time, I don't know. You know what? If you put Werner's work into Martial's body, it'd be a great striker.
Yeah. This is the thing. I was gonna say that. I was gonna say I'd pick Werner because one thing I hated about Morata was when he went through his bad spell, he was just moping about and he was kept like he'd be offside. Yeah, and Werner, although he's had his moments, he's been like pulling out his shirt. You've seen him keep going, and the amount of shots he's had, like it's just unfortunate he's not scored. To be honest, I don't think Werner's a bad player. Whereas I think Werner, if you take an actual player like form, take form out of it, actual player, Werner's better than Martial. And also a point to Werner as well. Like he's still in our side at the moment, even though Giroud's playing, Werner will still play. Whereas you're just swapping him out. So there's that.
Yeah. The thing is, I hate saying negative things about my own players. I make me feel awful, but if you watch his gameplay, we talk about it every night. It's painful to watch what he does. If you isolate him and watch his game, don't even close down. It's sort of a half press, and it's just there's no point in doing it.
Yeah, that's the thing, isn't it? I think you know that Martial's a good player. Doesn't have the hunger.
I don't think it's confidence with Martial. I just don't think he can be asked. I don't think he's really confident personally because he has scored a few in the past.
Yeah,
but it's just like he doesn't give a fuck. So to answer the question, Elliot,
Werner. It's Werner, mate. No comment. All right. Good question earlier. Yusuf's here, by the way. Hello, Yusuf. Sorry, I just saw your message. He said, "Finally, what up, guys? What a time to be back. Big game with two friends. Yeah, we won't be friends on Sunday, but we can be friends now."
I think with me and you, Jay, we take the game as it comes. Whatever the result, we always sort of shake hands at the end of it, don't we? We couldn't say anything, Josh.
Josh is a very petty man, and he said, "Where is Josh? Josh, he's just not here. Just not here." He did a podcast last night with Ross about why Tottenham are really shit. So if you're interested in that, you're a Chelsea fan, it might lift up your day. Go watch it. Elliot's got another good question, which I do want to kind of delve into just really quickly, but Zachariah, mate, sorry if I butchered your name. He said, "What are the score predictions?" Bringing it back to the game just a little bit.
No, don't we?
It's the worst part of the video, isn't it?
Yeah, you've actually just reminded us to do it. So thank you for that.
I reckon I'm going to go. We've said this already earlier on in the pod. We said it's going to be Kate. It's not going to be Katie. You're going to sit deep. We're going to have a lot of the ball. We're not going to do a lot with that ball. I'm going to go 1-0 Chelsea because somehow, someway, we'll find a goal in like the 56th minute. Somehow, United will then come out to play and it will just then crumble. What do you think?
Yeah. You know what? I'm going to go similar to what you're saying, and I agree with what you're saying. I think that you probably will score first if there was to be goals, and that will then, again, story of my fucking life, will pick us up the arse. I'm going to go. I've never done this. I'm going to go for 1-1. I always put a deal in United, but yeah, I can't see it winning. I can't see you winning.
Mate, you know what? The thing is, like, I can see that absolutely. It could either go one way. It can go 1-0 either way, 1-1. I don't see it being a high-scoring game at all. And again, Elliot's got another good question there. I want to answer it, but I want to talk a bit more about the game because I kind of forgot a point that I wanted to make. So I'm going to whip it back around. And I just wanted to say, like, I went through my team and I mentioned all these players, and I missed out Havertz. I missed out Ziyech. I've missed out Pulisic. And at the start of the season, we were thinking a front four of Pulisic, Werner, Ziyech, and Havertz was going to be this almighty goal scoring machine. And it's really weird to see where we're at. Some of the lads have got their predictions in, and I'll get to that in just a sec. But it's on one hand, it's great because we have an incredible bench. We can bring on Ziyech in the midfield, we can bring on Pulisic on the left and really inject something. But at the same time, we didn't buy these players to do this. We didn't buy Pulisic so that Alonso could play at wing back. We didn't buy Havertz so that we could play Jorginho and Kovacic in the middle. So it leaves me quite frustrated, and it's again, it goes to how Chelsea have run because arguably, did Frank make these signings or did the board make them? If the board made them, why have they brought Tuchel in to not play them? It's a whole mess. But I just wanted to bring that up because when I was writing down my team, I was like, wait a minute. Do you know what I mean? Like,
even Chilwell as well. Like, as soon as Tuchel come in, it was like, and he even played, like you mentioned with the prediction. I forgot his name. Your left wing back.
Alonso.
No, sorry, right side.
Hudson-Odoi. Oh,
yeah, that's a confusing one for me. I don't understand how that works.
It works when the team doesn't want the ball. When the team doesn't want the ball, he's not a wing back, he's a winger. And I'll give him credit. He's actually put in a good defensive shift, but he's not a defender. He's a winger. So he needs, and also that's it. And that leaves Reece James, who's been up until now, him and Mason Mount were the best players at the club. Obviously now under Tuchel, he's not playing, so he can't be that. But it's an odd one, right? It's as much as I'm happy, and that Madrid game made me very happy, I still have all this behind me that I'm like, what is going on? What is going on?
Well, it's like you made the great point before. Was it the board that signed him, or was it Lampard that signed him? You've still got a great squad there, but it is. If I was to look at that squad with them four on a bench, it's like, what do you do with them? Because I've seen rumours, and it is only rumours. The Ziyech to be going to Italy. Maybe I think he's obviously not cutting it here at the moment. He could potentially go Juventus or Inter Milan. So you need to somehow find a way into the team for him.
Yeah, it's a real weird one. Just to bring you back to the comments, because Luke Parker's your mate, isn't he?
Yeah.
Is Luke Parker? Did he buy something off Retro?
Yeah, he did. He bought a few.
Big up, Luke. Right, big up, Luke. Thank you for that. He said that prediction is a disappointment. He said 3-1 United. But then him and Zach, I hope it's okay if I call you Zach, big man. He said, I hear that, but 2-0 Chelsea, let's go. So we've obviously got a Chelsea fan and a United fan here. So not only do they have a Chelsea fan and a United fan on screen, we've got them in the comments arguing.
The thing is with Luke is he's very passionate about United. He will never say a bad word about anyone at United, and he will always go for a win, even if we've been playing dumb shit. I would say, you know what I mean? Like, no, we didn't play that because, and I do admire him for that. So big up, Luke. I do miss you as well.
Big up, Luke, mate. Yeah, no, I think he bought a United shirt. He's actually just said, "Love the Retro store." Thanks, Jay. Don't worry, mate. Don't worry. Thank you.
Because you have a fucking lot of him.
Mate, I said this to them. I said, you know, I've some people have bought stuff because I've joined. I was like, is there commission? They said no. But then Luke did make the point that we've played no one under Tuchel so far.
Yeah,
and Zach's made the point though as well. They're making the points for us here, Adam. We played Tottenham, who obviously were on a bad run of form, but they're not no one. They're Tottenham with one of the best managers that we've seen. Maybe not right now, but that we've ever seen. Also, that same they were, but so were we, to be fair. But that squad put 6 past you, as Zach said. And we just beat the top of La Liga. I don't know if that says a lot about La Liga. Probably does, but we have played some people under him. And this is going to be a huge test. And we do have, I've said this already, we do have Liverpool on Thursday as well. This run is just really not fair it is fair, but it's really rough on Chelsea. So
this will be his biggest
tests to come in. We said that about Southampton, then Madrid, now this. He's had some tests, to be fair to him.
In Southampton, maybe 4 months ago, yeah. Sorry, a bit less than that.
It feels like 4 months ago. Yeah, I know what you mean.
So, yeah. Listen, we won't know until it happens on Sunday at 4. Yeah,
yeah, man.
I'm not, we might go back to some points, but we are going to do a review of the game after it, aren't we?
Me and you would do some fan cams, I reckon, and then next week we're going to do a podcast on Tuesday. Hopefully, Josh didn't get back to us on that, so but we're going to do a pod on Tuesday. So we'll go into more detail then. Also talk about the upcoming games, but we will have fan cams on that day. So everyone that's in here right now, make sure you subscribe for one, because we've lost 2 subscribers. Adam, I don't know if you know.
That's fucking disgusting.
It's bastards, isn't it? So subscribe. Luke's got a question for me. Question for you, Jay. Do you rate Werner, and do you think he'll become a quality striker? In my opinion, I think next season if he can keep scoring, he'll be world class. Yeah, mate. We did mention it briefly earlier on. Like his work rate is brilliant. His pace is brilliant. If he can get his first touch sorted, and if he can start bagging the goals, which we know he can do, yeah, he's going to be brilliant. Tuchel's already said that he plays better with a number 9. Like he playing off of him, which we saw at Leipzig. So I don't know if that means we keep Giroud, we develop Tammy. A lot of Chelsea fans saying we're going to get Haaland. That's not happening. He's a City player for all I care. Like I'd love him to come to the club, but he's a City player, absolutely. But no, I do think Werner can come good. Look at Ndombele, man. He was dog shit last season. Werner's having a better season this season than Ndombele did last season.
Yeah. Just to mention, going back, and I hate to do this because people watching, but your question was asked before. Would you rather have Martial or Werner in your squad right now? So I'd be interested in what you think of that.
Yeah. And then just on that, the Haaland thing, Zach said, do you think we'll sell Abraham if we got Haaland or keep him as a third? So hypothetically, if we get Haaland, we sell Tammy. It's not fair on him. I like Tammy. I love him. He's a Chelsea boy. He has the in him to be a really good striker. So for me personally, you sell him if you get Haaland. But
yeah,
he's Zach said now he's ours. He's not, man. He's fucking City's. He's a City player. He's either going to City or somewhere else. Everyone's saying now it's like Haaland and Mbappe. Do you think one of them's going to come to Chelsea? No, they're going to go to somewhere else. I don't know if that's me being pessimistic, but
they're not going anywhere near Chelsea if they don't get top 4.
That's a big shout. So we need to make sure we do. Listen, if we get Haaland, I'll be okay. Nothing but professional out here on the back post. I do love that about us. But yeah, and then on the striker talk, I'm going to bring it back to Elliot's comment, and then we can end it there. I don't know where Adam's gone. There he is. Zach said we're front runners apparently by Bear journalists, and Luke said Werner's been bad, but Martial's been bad, but he has, and and we can agree on that. Elliot said Cavani or Giroud. Giroud, innit? Listen, the thing is, right, I remember I laughed when you got Cavani, and then I've been proved so wrong on that. He's brilliant. I think they're about the same, you know. They're both the same kind of player. They both strong, experienced, old-fashioned number 9, hold the ball up well. I'm obviously going to say Giroud because of what he did midweek, what he did for us in the Europa League a couple of seasons ago. But yeah, Cavani has it all in him.
For that question, I think you've got to take a step back and just look at 2 great strikers. I think, obviously, being a United fan, I would put Cavani over Giroud if he can keep him week in, week out. You know, he's top goal scorer at PSG there. Absolutely oozes goals. The thing is with Cavani, which he has more of than Giroud, is intelligence off the ball.
Yeah, he's got a lot.
You watch his gameplay. If you compare him and Martial, it's like watching Sunderland. Cavani, even if he's not touching the ball, he's making runs that are bringing Bruno into the game, that are bringing Rashford into the game. It's so nice to watch him play.
Yeah, no, I get that. I mean, I think I remember the first time he was subbed on. He had 5 minutes or so, and
You saw the change instantly.
He straight away. I mean, the one thing I would say as well, like, you know, how he the way he's off the ball. I don't know about Cavani with this. To be fair, I've not watched enough of him, but I think what Giroud brings as well is, like, you know, the Hazard's favourite player to play with was Giroud, because of the way he could just, it's like a wall to bounce it off, like bang bang, 1-2, you're in. So there is also that. One last question from Luke. Luke, he said, sorry to keep asking questions. It's all right, mate. You're giving us content. But could you both give your thoughts on what you both think the deciding factors will be this weekend, and what will win each team the games? It's a good question, Luke, actually. I think we've both alluded to it, really. I think we've both alluded to the fact that we think United won't play with the ball much. We will have a lot of the ball, but won't do much. I think it's going to take a special moment from either club. If that's a United counter-attack with Rashford and Cavani, or is that a Werner run, a Giroud goal? It's going to take something special like that, I think.
But we are saying this. Cavani might not even play. He's 50% doubtful for all the rumours. Yeah. For me, the biggest factor before the game starts is who starts the game.
Yeah, definitely.
At the moment, Cavani's doubtful. McTominay's doubtful. Pogba's completely out. He's not going to make an appearance. We don't know. So if the players are fit, I think that builds confidence on us, and we would go for it more. But I think if Cavani's out, for example, I think that already just doesn't bring me confidence. And even the squad, I think if they see that Cavani's not up top, it's like this, and they see Martial up top, they're going to kick off.
Yeah, no, it's going to be good. And I mean, to be fair, I didn't even mention the fact that we might rotate with the fact that Liverpool's only a couple of days later, so we might bring someone in to rest players or whatever. So all these are factors. But no, we appreciate everyone that was watching with us. Thanks for getting your questions in. Big up Luke, Zach, Yusuf, everyone in the chat. You lot of legends. Like we said, we're going to do fan cams on the day, so we'll give you our instant match reaction. We'll hope one of us will be happy. Hopefully that's me. And just thanks for watching. Make sure you like. Make sure you subscribe to us. We're going to be doing more of these podcasts. This is what we love doing. This is what we prefer to do. So we're going to do more of these. We get Josh, like we said, we're going to do on Tuesday as well. And is there anything else you want to add, Adam?
Nah, just tell your dads, everyone.
Tell your dads to subscribe to The Back Post.